board going?
Looks ominous.
Alright. So, we're going to be a little unconventional today. If I can open this. Alright. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, let's start. I want everybody to close their eyes. Alright? Close your eyes. And I want you to think of somebody in your life who showed you what love is. Someone you met, maybe it's a parent, a grandparent, friend, an uncle, cousin, or somebody you met in life. Think about what they've done in your life that they showed you what love is. How did you get to know that? Now I want you to think to yourself, what does love mean to you? What's your definition of it? Lastly, I want you to think about that person that you have in your mind. And think, I know it's hard, but if they would lay their life down for you. If, let's say you're on the highway and God forbid, a semi-truck is coming at you, and that person would push you out of the way and take your place to save you from that certain death. I know it's hard to think about, but I just want to tell you guys, someone actually has already done this for you. He's done it today, yesterday, and all the days of your life. Because we have a Father in heaven who made you the way you are. He loves you, all your imperfections, everything that you've done. He loves you for you. And he sent his one and only Son to lay his life down for you, to die in your place, to take away the sin in each of our lives that separates us from God, so that we may have a future and a chance and a new life in him. This is true love. And if you haven't experienced it in your life, I urge you today, consider accepting Jesus into your heart. Let him lead your life. Because love can move mountains, love can change lives, and love never fails. You guys can open your eyes. All right, we're going to start with a word of prayer. God, we ask you to fill this room, guide me, and please let us all benefit from this talk today. Amen.
Amen.
So, today's reading is 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. And I'll read it to you guys. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud, and it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. So when we read this, right, hopefully this marker works, we can see that there's kind of a list here where it says what love is. And we're going to write it down. And there you go. So we have love at the top. Big line under there. And it says love is patient. Kind.
You might want to use the black one. We
It's a
can't
good
read
idea.
it.
You're like the weatherman that stands in front of the map, Jake.
There we go. Let me my list here. Love is truthful, forgives, hopes, and lastly, it perseveres. All right, so that's our list, right? So we can see that when we go through our daily lives, right? And if you think about those people that we were just thinking of before, right? And you think about what they did to show you love in your life. They were patient with you. They were kind to you. They were truthful. You trusted them. They protected you. They forgive you.
Yeah,
I can tell you my mom has forgiven me like thousands of times. Yeah, who knows? Hopes. And lastly, you persevere. Love makes it. Now I can tell you I've had many relationships in my life. Good, bad, friends, family. Only few have persevered. But it all starts with patience, kindness. You know, they're truthful to you. And if you think about it, these three lead into this one. Protects. Because you can't be kind because you develop a relationship with somebody, and you're patient and you're kind, you're truthful. Those key aspects kind of protect the relationship, the love that you have with that person, because you trust that you're going to be truthful, right? So when you think about how this applies, God is love in our life, and He's the ultimate version of patience, kindness, and truth, right? Because he shows you what it means to have love, to have family, friends, other people. And you can kind of gauge when you go through your daily lives, right? Are you being patient with people around you, kindness and truthful? Do you show love? Because this is a good way to test your actions. If you do, and if it perseveres in the end, right? So I think we all can think of examples. We just did when we closed our eyes. And we need to ask ourselves on a daily basis, do we show love to other people or not? Are we acting in love? Do we use these qualities when we wake up in the morning, talk to other people? Because we know, and we can look at people throughout the Bible, such as Job. He patiently waited on God to answer him. Jesus persevered on the cross. True love has no lies in it. And on a person-to-person basis, truth in a relationship without lies creates a bond between two people. But more importantly, it creates a bond between you and God, because you trust Him. You trust His love that He's done. He led you, He forgave you, and He's there for you. And it's kind of one of those beautiful things about life. You don't need to do anything for it. It's there for you when you wake up. It's there for you tomorrow. And it doesn't leave. Right? So that's love, and then we can see what love isn't. So we'll say not. Envy. And then when you read that Corinthians verse, these are all the things that it says love is not. So, I mean, I've had multiple relationships with people, and even myself, where I act prideful. I boast. Dishonor. I get angry. I could tell you the other day, I talk to Joe all the time about I go into the gym, These little rugrat high school kids running around, and they get on my nerves pretty bad. They get in my way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard me talk about it. And I lose my patience, right? Well, first thing to go, patience. And I'm self-seeking. That's why I get angry at them. I lose that love. And I say, get out of my way, whatever.
I mean,
Rugrat kid.
the thought that, Jake, that those two are so closely connected. Because I get angry when I'm not taken care of. It's self-seeking. Me, if you don't look up to me, I'm gonna get mad at you. So
Right.
the two are right there. Yeah,
That's what I'm
good.
saying. So when you get upset, it's not, it's when love is kind of about other people, while this, if you see, this is all about you,
Yep.
right? So, and if you think about our relationship with God and your life, it's not about you. It's about how you portray yourself to other people, how you carry yourself. Acting in these, and you can tell when these start to come up in your life, right, or in a situation, you're no longer in love. And you're stepping out of basically God's will for you. Because I don't know if you guys remember, in the Gospels, Jesus says there's two great commandments, right? Love God and love your neighbor.
Yeah.
So if you step out of love, right, you're stepping out of God's will for your life. And these are great ways to test if you're stepping out of this, which is love. Because the end result of all of it is that we will persevere. You overcome whatever you're going through. You just got to stay in love. Just like Jesus did on the cross. Faithful. He did. Now I can tell you, I have a story from this week. I went to a car wash. I don't know if you guys have seen my car, but it's like 6 inches off the ground. And I go to the car wash, and I'm like, happy. It's like Tuesday. They got pizza at the office. It's a good time. And so I come back and I go to this car wash, and this guy, I'm like, hey, can my car go through? It's 6 inches off the ground. He says, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I go through, sure enough, car hits the thing, scrapes, now I have a dent in the front of my car. And I lost my patience with the guy. So I got out and, I lost my temper. And as like mid-sentence to the guy, this popped in my head. Not gonna lie to you. And I was like, geez, man, look at how much I just got caught up in this. Who cares? I get it painted. It doesn't matter. It's just a thing. But what does matter is now that guy, every time he sees me, is gonna say, hey, that guy's not representing the church, the things that he says he is. That guy got angry because he dinged his car. Which is kind of silly when you think about it. Because there's so much other things going on in the world. So that's why I say when we act in love, we can maintain our relationship to God and do His will throughout our lives. And you can see that when you do act in love and you act patient, you're kindful, truthful, it protects you and your relationships that you're involved in, and also protects who you are as a person, which will lead you to forgive and ultimately hope. And then at the end of it, you persevere. Because I'm not gonna lie, this walk as a Christian, it's about daily discipline, denying yourself, and eventually getting to heaven, right? Because you're saved. Our life is about persevering. I've been through a lot myself. I'm not gonna go through it today, but I hope, I forgive, and I wanna persevere. And I think the only way to do that is to stay in love. The love that God showed us in the Gospels, where Jesus laid down his life.
Excellent.
Very good, Jake.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got one more thing.
No collection.
So basically I'm saying, when we first started this today, when you thought of those people, I told you to close your eyes. Think about it. What did they show you out of this list that made you think that they loved you? How did you know it was love? How do you break that down? Something to think about. But I want to stand here today and tell you that there's a God in heaven who loves you more than anything in this world. Anything you can imagine. He wants the best for you. He wants to take away your pain, your hurt, your struggles, your hardships, and help you persevere through this life. With that same love, the same love that led Jesus to die on the cross and lay down his own life so that we can have a relationship with God. Because we know that God is love and sin is perversion of that love in many different aspects, from creation to, we're not going to go into it today, but, and sin separates us from God. And Jesus told us the 2 commandments, right? Love God and love your neighbor, 2 greatest ones. So I urge everybody in this room today, and when you go through this week, when I urge each one of you this week to test your actions and your thoughts.
Okay.
The whole week with this list. Every interaction you have with somebody, and say, am I doing this? Or is this coming up? Because it's a big difference. And just as that person that you thought of in the beginning of this talk this morning showed you love, it's now your turn to show it to the next person. So in conclusion, I say be patient. We can't change the world or the evil in it, but we can expose it by acting in love. As light will expose the darkness. So don't be afraid of the times or the seasons or the wars or Ukraine or what's going on or COVID or any of it. Because God is love, and love doesn't fail, and God doesn't either. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, folks, grab a coffee, say hello to everybody.
Very good, Jake.